The debate continues to grow. Which store on the Citadel is Commander Shepard's favorite? This is Explain Me a Thing. So, Mass Effect is a video game series that had sprung up during the heyday of blaming video games for the corruption of youth. From violent shooting gallery style games to moral choices being made over political controversy to the infamous sex scene, if you can call it that. The views on the series at large has always been one of, this is not wholesome entertainment. But in 2016, those arguments aren't bandied about as often, and Mass Effect was left to stand up as what it actually was. A brilliant sci-fi story about humanity's expansion into space, and the subversion of the expectations for what that would actually mean. After all, every alien race in the series, as well as humanity, had some kind of prejudice towards each other, just separate 40-hour story modes about space racists. There is one race that isn't oppressively bigoted, the Asari. Of course, there's some subplots involving Asari purists, but we won't be getting into that. So, the Asari were created by the writing team at BioWare specifically to address the trope of the green alien girl that is so prevalent in science fiction. The phrase, of course, coined to explain Captain Kirk from Star Trek seducing beautiful, humanoid, alien women across the galaxy. Now for the theory. What if the Asari were actually some sort of parasite, or at least sentient virus that's propagating itself throughout the galaxy? That sounds more xenophobic than I was intending. So not a literal virus, but at least evolved from one. And their particular abilities are progressions from viral evolution. Now, the Asari appear to only be one gender, uniquely perceived as attractive to many other species in this shared universe. This may be because of their shared physical characteristics. For humans specifically, they're a hot woman, and we do like hot women. For Solarians, it could be skin color, head fringes for Turians, etc. It's also postulated by a staple character in the series, Mordin Solus. The mechanism behind the Asari's cross-species attraction may be neurochemical in nature, implying that the Asari are perceived as attractive to other races due to some sort of mind manipulation. But that can't be right, can it? While they are monogendered, Asari are not asexual and do require a partner to reproduce. However, Asari reproduction is different from other forms of sexual reproduction. An Asari provides 2 copies of her own genes to her offspring, one of which is passed unaltered and defines the dominant traits. For example, the most dominant trait, all Asari offspring are Asari, regardless of the partner's species or gender. A single gender of aliens, so they don't adhere to traditional binary definition, but they do use almost exclusively feminine pronouns. It's an entire race of space lesbians, Galians, if you will. At least until they started partnering with other alien races. The second set of genes is altered in a unique process called melding. And while no DNA is taken from the partner, the meld instead is used to explore her partner's genetic heritage and pass desirable traits on to any offspring, as a map to randomize genes of the offspring. Some methods of reproduction presented by the Asari are similar to those used by viral strains. Generally, viral populations do not grow through cell division because they are acellular. Instead, they use the machinery and metabolism of a host cell in order to produce multiple copies of themselves, all assembled within the cell itself. However, viral progressions tend to require adoption of new traits through gestation, and viral genomes are constantly mutating through a process called the antigenic drift, which protects viruses from becoming universally recognized by a populace's immunities. This process seems to reflect the purpose of Asari's melding technique when considering Asari reproductive process. It is also possible for an Asari to meld with another for the sole purpose of transferring thoughts, without reproduction. The Asari initiating meld can both send and receive information. This can be used in a practical application, as well as a purely recreational form of sexual intercourse. Being able to receive and transfer thoughts. Maybe Morden was right. During the melding, the Asari and her partner briefly become unified in nervous system, sharing memories, thoughts, and feelings, which sounds very similar to the way that viruses can influence your thoughts. Some of our scarier viruses will adjust your brain chemistry, causing you to think and act differently. Generally, this is when a viral infection crosses the blood-brain barrier, relating to some level of damage to the brain, leading to irritability, clumsiness, sleep disorders, difficulty with memory and concentration. However, with any disease that causes your body to react, it can alter your body's chemistry, sometimes permanently, which can change your personality in the long term. Asari also have a robust cellular regenerative system. While they don't heal faster than other species, they are known to reach over 1,000 years in age. Interesting to note, the oldest surviving virus on Earth survived hibernation of 30,000 years before being discovered by scientists. Their long lifespan, the ability to reproduce with a partner of any gender or species, gives them an attitude towards other races that favors compromise and cooperation over conflict. A behavior that would be beneficial if you evolved from a species that required a host in order to propagate. Furthermore, viruses are an important natural means of transferring genes between species, which increases genetic diversity and drives evolution. It's thought that viruses played a central role in early evolution. So, with that being said, what do you think? Is it possible that Asari evolved from a virus, using these abilities to continue spreading throughout the universe? Or does it make more sense that they evolved these traits independently of their needs? Let us know in the comments.